welcome to episode... Oh, I'm just getting comfy on my chair.
You look skew-whiff.
I know, I'm always skew-whiff. What episode is it, Mark?
19, 20.
19.
19.
No, 19.
The average age of the combat soldier.
In Vietnam.
Great song. Paul Hardcastle. Thank you. Useless facts.
Of America and wars. Good link.
God, you're slick.
God, I'm good. Trump. I mean, just Trumpety Trump, really. Trump, Zelensky.
Well said.
And JD Vance. He sounds like a sports shop or a golf brand.
See, I can't really follow it.
No, and we're not going to talk political because that's not what we're about. But it's just, for me, seeing them in the White House and the way they spoke to Zelensky, it just reminds me of like frat house bullies, you know, in all the teenage American films where you get the big rich kids who just think they know everything and own everything.
Entitled.
Yeah, entitled. And they're just sitting there all plumped up in their, literally the little haven of power, and have no bloody idea of what's going on in the real world, really.
I think they do. They just don't care.
No, but I just watched a little clip and it was like, Trump was just like, Zelensky, is speaking English, whereas Putin only speaks Russian, so has this like pauses and has to have someone translate for him.
Right.
So the fact that he's even doing the whole thing in English, they're looking down on him because obviously his vocabulary is slightly stilted, understandably, but brilliant. And then it's just Trump's like vocabulary is just so basic. He's like, don't you tell us what to feel. Don't tell us. You can't tell us what to feel. You don't know. You know, you're wrong. You know, everything's just... And he just would not let him speak. And Zelensky was trying to say, look, you've invited me here to speak. You're not letting me speak. And just the whole, like, you know, you're not even wearing a suit.
Yeah, I found that really bizarre.
Like,
does it really matter?
So then I've just watched a little clip of Keir Starmer doing exactly the same sort of setup, you know, one-on-one, like we are here. And just so nice and welcoming, and then so British, because all he talks is about, oh, did you see the cheering crowds outside? Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. It's just complete opposite of... But it's just like spitting image sketches. It's just not real life.
It's quite easy to play off Trump because you don't have to do anything, really. You just have to go, just have to be a generally nice human being, and everyone will go, okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever's going on politically, I mean, there's also this, you know, rumours that, you know, he spouts that, you know, America have given them $350 million or something. They haven't. That was what originally promised. And then they basically gave them a load of old crap of ammunition, allegedly, a load of old crap of ammunitions that America weren't using anymore. Nice. And like, so they went, here, have all these old crappy ones
rifle downstairs
that don't really work, but you can use them. You know, they're not going to be useless, but have them. We've given you all of this brilliant stuff. And then we're going to use the money that we promised you to buy new stuff for us, because obviously we're more important. Allegedly.
I
don't know for sure.
I don't.
Yeah, I just find it just like bullies, basically.
I think wealth brings this. I just find it strange. You know, we all know some quite wealthy people who are just, if they weren't wealthy, they'd have no mates. They would have no friends. They will die with no one by their bed because they've just lost that ability to be nice human beings. And at the end of the day, that's all it's about. It's about being a generally nice, moralistic human being. Like, don't treat people how you wouldn't want to be treated yourself. And it's like, and I know,
they think they're not going to get ever treated like that because they're at the top of the pile.
Because they're powerful, yes, exactly. But they've forgotten the basics. Bring back the basics.
But, you know, the fact that they were, like, taking the piss out of Zelensky, not taking the piss, but, like, belittling him for not wearing a suit. Yet there's Elon Musk standing in the background looking like Wayne's World character with his baseball cap on and just pissing about in the back behind the desk. I mean, that's not disrespectful. No one's allowed behind the desk.
No.
It just reminds me of the Adam Sandler film where his mate's the president and he just strolls in and is like...
Oh, yes. Pixels.
No, the other... Is it Pixels?
Yeah, where he's a TV guy.
Yes, okay.
Very good.
Yeah, and just like strolls in and...
Yeah.
That's just what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I just think it comes back to basics.
Anyway, let's not give him any more airtime.
How do people get to that state of power when they're cocks? Because
money.
No, but at the start, when you don't have money, he would have had to been generally nice to certain people to get higher up the ranks.
No, but I think what he he was around when you could be a complete arsehole and it was seen as like
what 80s power
a
suits
really good thing. It's that whole Wolf of Wall Street bollocks. It's that whole like be an arsehole, but you're powerful and you get shit done.
A client of mine went to a meeting with him once at Trump Towers, and as she walked out, he slapped her on the arse, and she's not a woman to be messed with.
I'd have given her a right hook.
And
Probably been arrested.
She turned, and all the other women in the room backed him up. Said no, he didn't. So he's just got this little...
Well, more fool them. That's what I say.
More what?
More fool them. That's an expression.
Oh, is it?
We just say silly girls who backed him up.
Willy-nilly.
Okay.
Hanky-panky.
You're just spouting expressions
No, I
now.
saw a Michael McIntyre one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Talking about hanky-panky, where all men want panky, but end up normally with the hanky. Which I quite liked.
Okay, that about sums up Trump anyway.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka, basically. So enough of them. Driving tests, that's another little chat.
We're at stage 2, aren't we?
Stage 2. So Emma's done. Flynn had his theory test last night.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could pass?
The theory now?
Yeah.
Not a chance. I don't think I'd pass the practical. I'd be good. I'd be
I
good at handbrake turns.
Flynn. I said, even
donuts.
You've got to. It's almost like any exam. You've got to drive the way they want you to pass the test.
Yeah.
No one, even driving instructors, do not drive, because I've seen a few whizzing around here. They do not drive how they teach, basically.
So I'm confused. So Flynn, when he gets the lights now, he puts the handbrake on, as we used to, puts it into first gear, and then he revs and finds the biting point even before we're going. I'm like, A, that's using more fuel.
We would have been failed for that.
That's burning the clutch out. And I'm like, are you sure? And he goes, yep. He did it again the other night when I took it.
Is that not just a practice finding the biting point, or actually what they do?
Yeah, but you can hit, and then, I just...
Yeah, because ours, we had to have the clutch in, handbrake on, and then it's mirror,
I wonder what's changed.
signal,
I wonder if there's been
release.
any involvement.
Is that not the technology in the cars? Because the cars now don't roll back.
Yeah. Then you don't need the handbrake in theory then. Because if you take your foot off the brake, it shouldn't roll back. So you don't need the handbrake. I would fail.
Yeah, I mean, just even the theory. I mean, the theory that we had was like, at the end of your test, you sit in the car and the jolly man, or not, who's taken the test with you, or is the examiner, asks you about 10 questions, maybe, from the highway code, which was a tiny little book that you had to scroll through and read. None of this app business. Learning on an app.
Here's one, lollipop lady or lollipop person. You know they've got their circular thing with school and kids. Well, there's a section in the middle of it, which is black.
Yes.
Do you know what that's for?
Yes.
Oh.
How many kids have been run down?
No.
It's for writing something on, but I can't remember.
It's for writing the number plates of cars down if they've gone past through the zebra crossing.
Surely just like take a photo.
Yes, now, but that's what it was for. There's my useless fact.
As long as they've got chalk in their pocket.
Yes.
They'd have to have chalk.
Or a chalk pen.
I don't think there were chalk pens way back that one. That was can't speak, see.
Exactly.
I've just had
it's doing it again. Sparkles.
I know, I had to close the curtains a bit because it's a very bright sunny day, which is lovely.
Beautiful.
But it messes with the lighting.
I just went dogging round the lake.
Always dogging.
Lovely. Beautiful day.
Dogging is now, apart from obviously Peter Gay starting that whole chat about dogging, is now your sort of catchphrase, really, isn't it? Yes. People bump into you and go, I've just been dogging.
Yeah. Met someone last week, just off to go dogging. Very good.
Susie's shout-out didn't do one last week.
Ooh.
But Susie's shout-out this week is going to be Nikiana, our vet.
Oh, she goes above and beyond. She
lives, sleeps, breathes all the animals in her care.
Did dogging just make you remind her of
No, it's dogging, dog.
We
didn't talk. So last week when we did the podcast, we didn't actually talk about the trauma of what had happened to Ziggy, Miss Ziggy. Because
Stardust.
At that point we hadn't actually told Amber, and we didn't want her to listen to the podcast if and when and whatever had happened. So last Monday, Ziggy had a very traumatic experience, had a full-on seizure out of nowhere.
Bit of a stroke, we think, or some sort of embolism.
So Amber had been home for the weekend, been big family dog walk, absolutely fine. And then Monday morning, I think you and Flynn took the dogs just down to the local park down by the river. And Flynn came back, he said, she's been really weird. She's like bumping into loads of stuff and she's all over the place. She's a nightmare. Anyway, so obviously she was a bit wobbly then. And then we had an electrician came in, so locked him into our front room just so he could come in and out of the house without getting eaten by Yogi.
Vicious.
And then try and stay interested.
Well, I mean, you do give a lot of detail.
People need to know. You know the story.
No.
They do need to know why were they in the front room.
No.
I went in to check on them.
Small talk, as Flynn said.
Shut
no
up.
one likes small talk.
We'll talk about that in a minute. It's a podcast.
Yeah, but
it's about talking.
Forget the bit about the room. That doesn't matter. She had.
So they were locked in a room. I had to go into. I went into because it builds the
she's
story. I
getting
went
angry
into
now.
chat it. Went in to check because she was quiet, which is very unusual for her.
Very unusual.
Because if she's
Where was she, Susie?
in a room where she can't see people, careful, she just barks incessantly if someone breathes near the door.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there was no noise. Went to check on her. She ran off the sofa, like fell on the floor a bit, walked around in a circle a few times, and then had a massive fit.
I know, scary.
It was very scary actually.
But she's fine now. But she has been renamed Zoolander. Because she can't turn right.
She can only turn left, people. If you haven't seen the film, that's what it's about.
Yeah, she's getting better.
She's loads better. I mean, literally, she's on anti-epilepsy drugs just to keep her...
And we got something to shove up her arse.
Or yours, depending on how nice you are to me.
Yeah, we've got drugs to shove up her arse if she has a fit.
Diazepam. They're human drugs, so I can put them on you. It's fine. It's safe. Maybe not. I need a bigger dose, so probably...
Or a bigger pill.
Bigger tube to go up your arse.
Haven't I got a manly voice today?
Just a normal voice,
No,
isn't
it's
it?
deep. Listen how deep it is. I should do voiceovers today.
Well, then, what for? What are you going to do a voiceover for?
Femidoms.
No one would buy Femidoms from Barry White.
Can you still buy Femidoms?
I don't know. No, probably. I don't know.
Just use a Sainsbury's bag. Any and other supermarkets are available.
Honestly.
Sorry.
Honestly.
Right, anyway,
people.
back to the lock room. You put me in a room.
Anyway, so Ziggy is much better.
She's better, but it was a bit scary.
But Nikiana is my shout out.
Yeah, she is amazing.
So rushed her into our local vets, and we've known her for like over 25 years since we've had dogs. Mm-hmm. And she was brilliant, and she came out and was extremely, I hadn't got an appointment, obviously, I just like rushed in there to see what was going on. So lots of blood tests and possibilities of scans, but we've just sort of said, let's just see how she is.
I think it was a little mini stroke or something.
She's much less crazy. Like
we had a good fight on the sofa last night.
Yeah, but what I meant was normally you pick her up and she tries to like lick your face off.
Okay.
Whereas she doesn't do that now. She's quite happy.
But she can't feel her right side, can she?
Not as much. There's a lot less sensitivity there.
Coming back.
She did turn. She just moved. She just moved to the right a little bit now.
Okay.
So that's only like a week on.
Yeah, exactly.
So Nikiana gets a shout out.
Well done, Nikiana.
Love it. So the other thing that you have been doing this week is a lot of coaching of your athletes, and you've got a very good athlete, Connor, off to...
Yes, well, I've got lots of good athletes, younger and older, but Connor is upper sixth year. What's that mean, year? What's that?
13.
I'm so bad
Year
at that.
13.
Is that the final year? Year 13?
Last year, A-levels...
Anyway, he's like Tigger. He doesn't know who the hell I'm talking about when I say Tigger, because I've told him to stop bouncing everywhere because he gets a bit shin splints because he's at the track and then he's doing strength stuff and he bounces around everywhere.
Yeah.
So I've told Tigger to stop bouncing. But yes, anyway, he big up. He beat the under 20 indoor 400 record. Then
he's 17.
And
he hasn't turned 18 yet.
And now he's been selected for the senior Irish team in Apeldoorn for the European indoors this weekend. He's racing in the 4x4 mixed, and the Irish have a big chance of medaling. So that would be pretty outstanding.
And then he's been headhunted by universities.
Yeah, he's interested in going to US. I told him it's like Blindside. He's got a kind of barter.
Deals.
He's desperate to get a Subaru Impreza. It makes me laugh. That's all he cares about. They stopped making them in like 2016, I think. So yes, I was going to put a picky up of him winning the Irish Champs, but I feel like there's a lot more to come this year. So, and then
our whole Instagram feed will be filled with Connor otherwise.
And then the other, they're all doing well. And then the rehab, which I always think never gets enough praise or cover, especially with rugby players who so many of them going through rehab. So
not like alcoholic rehab or drug addiction.
No, not AA.
Not addiction rehab, actual injury rehabilitation.
So one of the Flynn's under 20s favourites, Mike Friday was his dad. I forget what, anyways, it's gone off, but he's just ruptured his ACL and is out now, obviously, for the rest of the season. And I just have a bit of an issue. They don't seem to talk about They only talk about all the glory stuff, but they don't talk about how hard people have to work to get back.
Yeah.
And so I've got, Tia, who's a young athlete, and she managed to rupture 2 ligaments in her ankle. And we introduced pliers yesterday. So it's just, it's tough.
So if you
and
go
it doesn't matter who
your
it is.
Instagram feed, there's a whole like video montage of all the work that she's done for the last sort of 5 weeks. And bearing in mind she's only 15, she's done brilliantly. Obviously helped by you and support from her parents and coaches.
I do think the rehab, and it's everyone. When someone has a back spasm or whatever, it's not very exciting. You just have to keep doing it.
Yes, monotonous.
Especially with tendinitis, whether it's golfers or a tennis elbow or Achilles or whatever it might be. It's just you have to have this strict protocol of building back the strength.
I think there's something like the longevity of players like Ronaldo and people like that. And also you see lots of athletes, sometimes they do actually show the small stuff that they do, because everybody thinks it's always the big stuff, the big weights, the big training sessions. But actually, sometimes it's their mobility, their stretching, their tiny little movements that they do prior to then going and doing all that stuff. It's like that whole routine. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like the necessary stuff you have to do.
I'm with you, Susie.
You with me? Was this Mark's bits, or have you got something else for us for Mark's bits today?
I was going to talk about the difference between mobility and flexibility.
Oh, yes, I like that. Carry on.
Well, because lots of people go, I've got to get more flexible. I've got to get more flexible. Mm-hmm. Unless perhaps you're a dancer or your sport requires exactly extreme levels of range to be able to compete. Mobility to me is more important than flexibility. So the ability to work your body through the full range that it can do.
That it's designed to do.
Exactly. So, and you can do mobility work within strength training. If you're doing a full squat or you're doing a full shoulder press. My pet hate is when people do partial stuff, because you're not working the range fully through. So everyone think, I don't do enough stretching, but you can actually incorporate that within your ordinary training.
Okay.
So when you're doing just by doing a full squat, bodyweight squat, you're working your mobility through your ankle, your knee, your hip. And then, if you're doing a pull-up and you've got full range, you're still working mobility through the range.
But it also highlights areas that you're not.
Yes.
When you do that full range, if you're doing smaller movements, you may not know that your left ankle will not flex like mine as much as your right.
Yeah.
But again, that comes back to the testing and stuff you do as well, isn't it? That can
I just think mobility and
generally
oiling the body, oiling the machine.
Well, it's also, especially as we get a little bit older, it's people that think, when you're younger, you sort of just assume that you can move that way because you've never really had any sort of stiff, achy bits.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, once you start working the muscles, then that sometimes can restrict, just knock the microphone, restrict your movement patterns sometimes, because you
and
get
a lot of
strong,
issues that
but
we
you don't
have,
get
a lot of tennis and golfer's elbow, trying to explain to Tim, who was in yesterday, normally comes from restriction in the shoulder. So suddenly the elbow joint has to do a lot more because you can't get the range of the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just,
knowledge about your body. Learn about your own body, not necessarily someone else's.
You can feel someone else's body if you want.
Well, maybe ask permission first.
Yes.
Yeah, always ask permission.
And
Actually,
then,
no, maybe always ask permission first.
What if it's someone you already know?
Even if it's your wife.
You have to ask permission.
Husband. Flipping it, yeah.
I have to ask permission before I touch you.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Otherwise, you're going to get
anywhere. I have to ask your permission before I touch you.
Yes, you bloody do.
What? So if I came in for a cuddle and say, Susie, please may I have your permission to cuddle you?
This is how it should be.
I'm not talking about erogenous zones.
I don't care.
What?
Just say, I always say to you, can I have a cuddle? And I come in, I've done it, but I've like...
Yes, you're already on me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think...
My fanny magnet.
Are you?
What?
Okay. Oh. But, a cuddle, you're really crap at cuddles sometimes.
How dare you? I know I'm good.
How dare you? I know I'm good.
But
right,
I don't last.
I'm good at everything.
I don't last very long.
No, you can't.
With cuddles,
no, but you're like extreme. You're either like, give me a complete bear hug crushing my ribs, or this sort of like wafty cuddle.
There's all things to do.
But like, relax. Just Flynn is a good cuddler. He loves a cuddle with his mummy. I don't care if he's looking at his phone over my shoulder. He's just embracing it, and we do deep breath and then release, and we're good.
Okay.
That's our little de-stress.
And does he have to ask permission? See?
Does.
See?
Yeah, but I gave birth to him. I didn't give birth to you.
Yeah, but I
grew him inside my body.
All right, show off. I would if I could. Some of my poos.
I don't think we need to know about that.
Okay, sorry.
Although we found that thing in Flynn's blazer, that was...
Oh, that was quite weird. He claims it's not a cock.
Well, like a stress toy. Like
it is a stress toy, but it's meant to be a
poo.
Oh, is that what it's meant to be?
I don't know. You're saying it's meant to be. I was like, it cannot look like anything else but a poo.
All right.
Big willy.
Not that big.
Well.
What are you trying to say?
Back there again.
Back where?
So talking about the size of your willy?
I'm not talking about the size. You're talking about the size of my willy.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah, I found that in his blazer pocket. I went down. Obviously, he's had half term and he's not worn that seat, and it was hanging up.
Lots of people have stress balls, don't they?
And I went down and I went to lift it. I was like, why is it so heavy? Squidged the pocket.
Thought it was a ripe banana.
I thought it was a really mouldy old banana. I was like, brilliant. That's in his blazer pocket. Been there for like 10 days. And then it was this brown poo.
Stress poo.
It was awful. First thing on a Monday morning to find that at 7 o'clock in the morning. No, thank you.
Lots of people have stress balls, don't they? Didn't we used to give Amber
You're
one
my
at school?
stress ball.
Well, you don't touch me without permission.
I don't.
Do your
Do you know what?
You just did your modelling face. No, not
modelling face.
What's that funny smile you do?
And we're like, hi.
Where your teeth. Yes, that's it. Tongue on the teeth.
That's my when I don't know people. Well, I sort of recognise their face. They think they know you, or they say hello, and you go hi.
And then the tongue. You always have to have the tongue pushed
to
the back
of the... I'm going to smile and be friendly because I don't know who you are. And I should know who you are, maybe.
Okay.
Lady from the gym.
Once I've written a name down, I always remember. But obviously you can't do that when you first meet someone.
Sorry, Helen, excuse me. Let me just get my notebook out and write down your name. Down. Faces I'm okay with.
We know that lady who has... What is it?
I don't know whether that's real.
Well, facial... It is real.
It's a real thing, but I think she's just... blagging it because she can't be asked to remember people.
What's it called? Facial recognition problem.
Disorder.
Issue.
She can't remember. If
People's
she's seen faces, it's like she's blanked from her memory when she meets them again. But she seems to recognise dogs.
So does that mean every time that if she has a boyfriend or girlfriend, because we're in a modern world now, every time or a
cauliflower
kitten, know what they called? Furry. But every time that she goes back home, it's like having a new lover.
I don't see. This is where I struggle to understand it. Is it actually everybody, or just people?
Boring people.
People she doesn't. That's what I mean. Because we saw her Christmas Eve at the pub, and she was with friends or her.
It may not mean she may have just met them,
but
you're like, friends.
Just like if they leave the. I don't know how. Is there a duration period? Is there if they literally leave the room and come back in? Does she go,
have a stopwatch if you go,
or is it like? Overnight, if she sleeps and then she sees someone next day, does she forget? I mean, all these questions we need to know.
I'm going to have to ask her.
We're going to Google.
I'm going to ask her.
Who are you?
I don't actually know her name. She's got a lovely dog.
This is very striking. Very striking.
The dog is.
And the woman.
Yeah, but the dog's... What is it? Vizsla. Vizsla. Very nice.
They're nice.
Ginger.
They're nice.
It likes me. We attract to each other. We said hello this morning, actually.
All right.
The dog.
Okay.
She wouldn't know.
She wouldn't know who you are.
Actually, you could have an affair with her, and then she wouldn't know. I could have an affair. I would know.
You would know, and I would know because you'd have to tell me because you can't keep a secret.
Yes, but apart from that small detail,
but we had sordid affair apparently.
Oh yes, so was it sordid?
So we've been in the Sun. I did a lovely interview for a lovely. Well, you were there as well. You were mentioned just at the bottom.
Talent.
We did a lovely interview. I did a lovely interview with this lovely man from the Sun, and he, it was the Sun, but he was very lovely. Then it gets passed on to a features editor who makes it more the Sun sort of content. So that was okay. That was as expected. But I think the headline was something about shocking affair or something. You have to put some
terrible. You stole me. I was going to get married.
To grab the viewers.
I was going to get married.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that came out Sunday night, I think it was. And then yesterday,
Sunday night.
Sunday night, and then someone sent me the thing that was on in the so the Daily Star got hold of it and completely butchered it.
The Daily Star? Mail,
the Daily Fail, whatever it's called.
I hate the Daily Mail.
This is all online.
That's my Mark's bits. Never read the Daily Mail health sections. Absolute
health sections.
Bollocks. No, some of them actually have some. Yeah, the broadsheets tend to have a little bit more science behind them. But the Daily Mail, whoever is the lead, and should please write in. It's like the bloody 90s, 80s.
But the whole paper is still stuck in that era of like, so the title from The Sun was something like
Get your tits out.
No, The Sun was quite normal for The Sun. And then the Daily Fail got a hold of it and put sordid affair or shocking affair. It was shocking. Were you shocked?
I was shocked. Just wanted the aircon.
Yeah, so they just butchered it. Not butchered it, but they just copied and pasted and then took other photos and just made it look like they'd written it themselves.
It's difficult.
It's probably the same features editor does both, to be fair, and they just changed the vocabulary for
the readers,
the really intelligent readers of the Daily. Lots of people I know read the Daily Mail online. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Is the Daily Mail
online? How's it work? Is it exactly the same editorial as the paper?
Probably not, but similar. Lots of online things are quick turnaround because they don't have to go to print.
I hate to read a paper online.
They can just do it digitally. They can just literally do it. But that's what everybody read. Why read a book online? Why,
Why read a book online?
You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I like a book, a physical paper book. But some people will read what are those things called a Kindle.
Yeah, I did offer you a Kindle.
No, they want it.
All right, skits.
They want it.
Nice.
I like paper books that people have made. It feels like they've put some heart and soul into it.
Okay.
Rather than just reading off a screen, personally.
Okay.
It makes sense if you're travelling a lot and you haven't got luggage to carry loads of books and you read a lot. That I get. But
the speed I read a book could last me 6 months. A bit more. Yeah. I'm a very quick reader. I'm a voracious reader, aren't I? Voracious.
Really. You need a good new book, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Any
Alistair Brownlee apparently did quite an interesting book when he retired. I like biographies, autobiographies. Am I cutting in?
Yes, I was trying to speak and you kept interrupting me.
Okay.
So rude.
Do you propose when you first meet someone?
When I first meet someone, hi.
Tongue up.
That's from doing PAs when I was really popular and people loved me. And I'd go to an event.
People loved you?
Yeah.
They don't love you anymore?
And I'd have to sit there and smile at hundreds of people coming to get my autograph because I was really popular.
Was this before the shocking affair?
Hi. Yeah, way before that. After that, they didn't bother.
No. Once they knew you were taken. Once the alpha had got in there.
Having a shocking affair.
The alpha with the beaver hat on. I'm wearing my beaver hat because I've got bed head.
Well, you've got dogging head hair, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit oofty today.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, that was a yawn for people at home who aren't watching, not anything else.
Oofties.
So, Mark's bits.
Yeah, mobility.
We've done mobility and flexibility.
You've done a shout out, very good.
Done a shout out for Nikiana, the vet. We've talked about Trump briefly, but I just makes me want to punch him in the face.
Who? Okay.
A lot.
If you had to sleep with one man.
Oh, please don't even put him in the...
Elon Musk.
Oh, I'm feeling sick just thinking about any of this. Go on.
And we're not just about sleeping, you have to... Elon Musk, Donald Trump, or Putin. One of them.
Oh my God.
One of them. Come on, one of them.
Oh, I'd have to... Oh, no, I can't.
Yes, come on, one of them. Yes, 3, 2,
it'd have to be Musk.
1. Oh, Suzie.
Sorry,
It's gorgeous.
Putin. Actually, Putin.
What?
No, because...
Sorry.
Yeah. He'd probably just order me about... Well, they'd all order you about. I think they would anyway.
There we are. Well, that's good news.
Brilliant.
What a lovely way to finish. Suzie wants to sleep with Elon Musk.
I do not want to. If you had a gun to my head and had to choose one, that's what I'd have to do for save my children's lives.
What's the game that they play, the kids play? Shag, marry, or kill. No, what is it?
That's a lovely game. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to play that game.
Okay, so you're sleeping with Elon Musk.
No, I'd kill them all.
No.
Because they're all awful humans.
Suzie Mark. Sounds like a perfume.
From the Body Shop from 1982. There was a Musk.
Yes.
What was it? Oh no. It's only my Googling.
Googling.
All right, people.
Thanks.
Keep it real.
Yes. No, I did that the other day.
What?
Someone went like that.
And you did that?
No, I did that.
Oh, you did the Scissor Sisters?
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry. Night all.
But night, it's not night time.
Well, it will be.
Bye.
Bye.